Bag up.
See, you should have been hostile.
Mr. Israel, bring that fire out.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel about to sign in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance.
Prosperity doctrine, just like these false pastors in these soul worshiping churches. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear things that make you feel comfortable in your sinful nature. God loves everybody. All you need to do is believe on Jesus and you will be saved. You ain't going to be saved. You still at the bottom of society. You still in captivity. And you still a slave of your sin. Read that.
Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceit.
Prophesy deceit. You love to hear lies. What you don't realize, you love to hear lies. But we out here to bring you the truth of what you hate. Read that.
Get ye out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
You don't want to see the Most High God show his truth about the word, which is his son, Jesus Christ, the Black Messiah. Y'all don't want to receive that. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Brother in the gray shirt. Brother in the gray shirt. I know you hear me talking to you, brother. Brother in the gray shirt. Come holler at me real quick. Come holler at me real quick. Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, Chief. You just got 2 minutes. Read that part again.
Get ye out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Because the thing about it is, when we come out here to reach our people, to wake them up from these lies and bring you forth the truth. Give me John chapter 8 verse 32.
Bring it up.
Give me that real quick. Because we out here to show what is the truth. The truth that you have been lied about. But we have grown men that's out here doing the same childish things every day. Doing the same thing. Constantly getting high off these crack cocaine. Constantly acting childish towards their own people. And you supposed to be the example and role models to these young people.
That's right.
Read that.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Give me Psalm 119, 142. It said the truth gonna make you free. What is the truth that will set you free mentally? That will set you free physically. That will set you free from the lies that's been taught to our people. These people teach us that we inferior to their superiority. When really, we are the people of the Bible that God speaks of. You are the children of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That is the truth. And the word is required of you is the laws of God. Not a religion. It is the conducting of what God requires us to do. It's keep his commandments and statutes. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
The laws of God is the truth. That is the truth that's going to set you free. Go back to John 8:32. That is the truth that will set you free. Set you free from these lies. Set you free from the conditions that you're living in. Set you free from all these sins that our people got us trapped in. Because you got to understand this is a spiritual war. Long as they keep plugging us with these drugs in our societies. Long as they keep pouring out our women. Long as they keep trying to push homosexuality to our children. They gonna keep us in sin and they gonna keep them in power. Y'all don't understand that though. This is a spiritual war. Read that again.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
He said the truth, which is the laws, which is the Bible, we're going to make you free. Give me Romans 6 and 17. The truth will make you free. You got to come free from your own mind state and what the world has taught you. And submit yourself to what God requires for you to do. Because you're supposed to be the greatest people on this planet Earth. the commandments of God will set us above the rest of these nations. Read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 17. But God be thanked that ye were the servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart that formed of doctrine, which was delivered to you.
You were servants of sin. That's what you were slave of. Read that last verse.
Brother Fred got a question. He wants to know why he came into slavery, the so-called black.
Okay, I got you. Read that last
The book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 17. But God be thanked that ye were the servants of sin.
Read verse 18.
Verse 18. Being then made from sin, ye became the servants of righteousness. I speak after the manner of men because of the infirmity of your flesh. For as ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanness and to iniquity, unto iniquity, even so now yield your members servants to righteousness, unto holiness.
Now we've been made free from sin. Okay, G, what's your name? Fred? Okay, Fred, let me ask you a question. You want to know why did we go into slavery, right? Okay. All right, Fred, give me Deuteronomy. Give me 29:1 real quick. Because the thing is, these things happen to us for a reason. Because we are a particular type of people. All right? So if I ask you, what is your nationality? What answer you would give me? A black man, right? Okay, black is a color. It doesn't refer to a nationality. It's 18 nations, 17 nations has pigmentation. It is some Chinese that's darker than me. It is some East Indians that's darker than me. Them so-called Africans, the ones that had their hand in the slave trade, is not our people because they're the same color. That don't mean they our people. You understand? And read this real quick. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. Right? This is the covenant that God made with the children of Israel.
Right.
You understand? Now give me Deuteronomy 28. We're going to read verse 1, then we're going to jump to verse 15. Now, we understand this is what God's speaking to the children of Israel, right? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, as you can see on this sign right here. What we're going to do, we're going to go into prophecy. We're going to go into prophecy, and what happened to our people have been prophesied in the Bible. They clearly identifies who these people is today. All right? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now,
if we apply what God gave us, which is the commandments and statutes, then he will set us high above all nations on the earth. You understand that? So our rightful place is to be the righteous rulers of these other nations. Because by the laws of God, the whole world is supposed to be under subjection of his authority. You understand? But this is what happened. Read verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Read it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day.
Now the key thing is us keeping God's commandments. That is the main focus. That is the main purpose, right? So these are the conditions of the covenant that we made with the Most High. We keep his commandments and statutes, then he will set above all nations. Everything belongs to us. But when we do not keep his commandments and statutes, read it.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Say all these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us, right? Alright, read verse 16. Now we're going to get some clarification of what these curses is and what these curses relate to our people or the other nations. Let's see. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
He said, cursed shall you be in the city. Now, what nation of people populate the lowest the poverty rate living in society today? As in the ghettos, as in the slums. Who live in the projects? What nation of people lives in the projects and the ghettos? Our people, right? Okay.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
He said, cursed shall you be in the field as well. And you take a look at this sign right here. We was the ones that were cursed in the cotton field, the bean of plantation, the rice plantation. We were cursed in these fields. Also, today, we the ones that cursed in the field of employment. We cursed in the field of education. We cursed in the field of the judicial system, right? We are still cursing these fields to these days.
That's right.
All right? Now read verse 32. Read verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
He said our sons and daughters are going to be given into another people. That means they're going to be sold into another slave plantation, right? Keep reading.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with a longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
Our foremothers and our forefathers will cry for their children because they don't have no military might or economic might to get their children back. Read verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
Why?
For they shall go into captivity.
You see that? They shall go into captivity. They shall go into slavery. They shall be sold into another slave plantation. All right? Our children were sold to another slave plantation. All this was prophesied in the Bible 3,000 years prior to when it happened. Right. You understand? Now, give me verse 37.
Hold on, Chief. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Verse 37.
37. What's your last name, Chief? Huh? How did you get your last name?
Mike.
Okay, how did your father, your father's father, and your father's father's father receive that last name? I'm gonna give you more clarification on that. Read verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Isaiah 65:15. He said we will become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. Astonishment, that means that it's an amazement that how far our people have fallen from what they supposed to be. Because like I said in Deuteronomy 28:1, we supposed to be the true rulers of this planet Earth. Okay? And it's in the history of our true history that we was the true rulers of this planet Earth. Okay? But we have fallen from our glory. And a proverb means a wise saying. Well, you know what they say? You want to hide something from a black man, where they going to put it at? Hide something from a black man, put it where? Put it in a book. Put it in the book. Because they saying that we don't like to read, right? A byword is called anything outside of your God-given name. As you can see right here, you said you was of American blacks, right? But really, God has called you of the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Which is one of the children of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
That is who you truly are. All right? Read it.
The book of Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 15. And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
We have left our name for a curse. Instead of having our true God-given name, the children of Israel, we were sold, but because of the curses, to another slave plantation, and we was named their property. They branded us after their name. You understand? That's how our forefathers got their name. Keep reading.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord God shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name.
We're being called by another name. These are not our true names. We're given these names in captivity. You understand? Read verse 48.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
We're going to serve our enemies. Keep reading.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
Now we serving our enemies for the want of all things. We don't own these grocery stores. We don't own these produce. We don't own any beverage corporations. And we got to serve them for the want of all things. If you want to get a driver's license, want to get a birth certificate, you want to buy a car, want to buy a house, and etc., you got to go to them for the want of all things. Keep reading.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And he shall what?
Put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
He shall what?
Put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
When did that happen to us? When did that happen to us? Have you seen 12 Years a Slave? Have you seen any slave movies at all? Yeah. Okay. What was around our necks in these slave movies? Chain. kinds of yoke. That's prophesied in the Bible.
That's right.
Read that again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Okay, until we was mentally and spiritually destroyed as a nation of people. We no longer knew who our true God is. We no longer knew who we was. We no longer knew where we came from because they destroyed us from our true heritage. You understand that? Read verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Okay, now by what means of transportation did they bring us over here? What type of transportation they brought us over? What transportation they used to bring us over here? Exodus 22. You said what now? Boats, right? Cargo slave ships. He said we will bring you to Egypt again with ships. The word Egypt means something, and we're gonna give you what the clarification of that is. All right, read it.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Bring you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. That's what Egypt means, bondage.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.